everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Thanks for tuning in. We're excited to be here.
Episode 33. Can you believe it?
33. We're getting so good at this.
Yeah, I know,
point.
Right? It's just, we're inspiring so many others. So many other things.
We're inspirational.
We are the pioneers.
I like that. Pioneer women,
Pioneer women.
I love that. I looked up a couple months ago, our first episode. We're
almost a year into it. But in this episode 33, we have your topics and your recaps. We're going to get into just some of the new music. Obviously, it's summer, so that's when all the bops start coming out. We're going to talk about Olivia and Sean, what's on the horizon for them.
I know. I think different ends of the spectrum. I'm expecting these bops from her, and Shawn Mendes a little heartbreak. So I'm excited to talk about that. Speaking of, music, our pop queen Britney Spears, another development this week, some allegations, and then some people coming forward saying that it's not quite true what some tabloids are reporting.
Exactly. And then we're going to get into our recaps. Obviously, the latest Kardashian episode. We're learning more about this feud within the family.
Sister feud.
Yeah, we'll share our thoughts on what we think of that feud. And then... we are gearing up for this next season of The Bachelorette.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that time of the season where roses are red and we get to see the men. And I'm just really excited to just judge people by their appearances, because that's kind of what
and the video. People had a few little cameo moments of talking.
Yeah, so which is so cringe. Show me.
I know. It's so dumb. But that's going to be our episode for today. Absolutely. But really quickly, Yos, how have you been hanging?
Not very well. And I will tell you this, guys, it is so hot in Texas.
Yeah. Really bad.
It's like a surprise every summer. I tell myself, why do I live here? And then I'm like, it's not that bad. And then this year comes along, and it makes me want to question everything, every decision I've ever made. It is so hot, guys. I can't even tell you. And just to better explain it the best that I can, because I am not a weather person. Say it's 102 outside, which not too bad for a summer, typical. But our humidity levels make it seem like we're 111 outside, and you can't really breathe because the humidity is pushing on you, so your sweat is not evaporating, so it's holding in that heat in your body, and it's expected that's what
I did not even know that that's what that meant.
It doesn't allow your sweat, because when your body tries to cool down, it sweats, and then sweat evaporates. But with the humidity putting on the sweat, it's just on top of you.
That makes sense.
So it's your body is just on overdrive, and these humidity levels, it's possible that we reach 100 and it feels 117 outside.
That's how much it was in my car right now. It was 120.
That makes me want to barf.
And we're not out of the woods yet. It's gonna be like this for a little while.
We're in June.
Coming from somebody who's lived in Laredo their whole life, it hasn't been this bad.
I'm it feels different.
It feels really hot. That's why I came in shorts and a t-shirt, because I'm as much as I want to look nice and I'm dying. I went home for my break, and I'm I cannot possibly wear pants or a shirt again.
I think I might be doing that, showing up in a t-shirt here and then changing right before the show.
Yes, because it's hot.
And then, guys, our AC isn't the best in this building.
Okay, so I leave at certain times, but right now when I was at my desk, I'm it's still feeling a little toasty in here.
Thank you. Justice for me and everyone. Okay, let me explain this. So our newsroom, whatever, it's not hot, right? But it's just a steady, no flow kind of room. Mm-hmm. But if you go to different parts of the building, they're definitely much cooler. You could tell there's an AC kicking in. And eventually people start to leave, the people that work the normal shifts, leave at 4:30, 5. But from 5 to 7, this newsroom gets so warm. And I believe it's because the sun is setting this way and it's hitting directly into it. It is so warm. It is, but there's only 3 of us working here. So when we complain,
which is strange, because there's literally no one here when it's cooler, and when it's less people, it's hot.
So people were I think they believe I'm like exaggerating, being like, there's no way it's hotter when there's only 3 people in the room as to compare to 12, but the sun is hitting so differently. And I think finally today I was just like, I had to send a message to the bosses and just be like, y'all need to check on the AC or bring it up. Like bring it up. I don't know if it's like an actual problem with it or it's just not at a level.
Tell me about it, because when it rains, it pours on my desk. So when it rains, it pours like only my desk. I mean, Christian gets a little bit of it, but I like when I come to work, I have to lift up my monitor. There's a pool underneath both of them, under my like, what is that typey thing called? Keyboard. Sorry, I forgot the word. Yeah, that happens. So I feel like since we're going into a new building, they're investing so much money. All of these little things are probably not. Yeah. They're probably not going to address.
Or at least like fix the AC or hand out deodorant. Like that's all I'm saying.
Shots fired. Yes, I agree with the statement.
I'm just saying.
Or be like, I'm not even going to say my next comment. Or hand out Lysol. Sorry. Let's hand out wipes.
Yes. I'm just saying, guys, it's hot. That's all I'm gonna say. And
it's pretty bad.
I just hope everyone that just recently moved to Texas, because there was that huge migration to Texas.
All of your people coming over here.
Welcome, guys.
This is our vengeance.
Welcome
to the problem.
Yeah, join the club. But yeah, that's besides that. I don't think I have been able to think properly because of the heat.
Oh yeah,
it has been it's been like a blah week for me at actual work. Like I feel like
it's been a weird week. I mean, I worked this past weekend and I had Monday and Tuesday off and it was really hot, so I just didn't even leave the house as much. Like it was like, let's just go really quickly outside and do what we need to do and come back. And it's felt weird being here just Wednesday through Friday, because you're in a different place mentally,
physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
I'm off on Monday, so I'll have a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, it's really the whole lead up to it, and it's nice. And then when you're hit with the weekend, you're like, oh man, I'm here. As long as
the AC works.
I know, right? That's so strange. I didn't even feel that this weekend, which is interesting. But
it did get hotter on Monday, though. But anything exciting for you this week?
I finally am a grown-up. I booked appointments with a general physician, which has been a decade since I've done so. And I've booked appointment with the dentist since it's been 2 years. My dentist friend, she said it's okay-ish. No, it's not true. But yeah, I went to go see my doctor today, and it felt really great to just kind of finally talk to a doctor and not WebMD. She can actually tell me whether I'm just delusional or if these are actual valid concerns. So I was really frank about everything. That was like, look, I think I have this problem. I think this is because of this. I have this. I was probably like listing everything. And she was like, okay, let's just start with blood work. Let's work from there and we'll figure out what's wrong with you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to her too, so I'm excited.
She was great. Like, I felt like she was like younger, really sociable, like have a good conversation with her. So I felt comfortable just kind of letting it all out and like saying what was on my mind about myself. I mean, this is the one opportunity, because if you're too scared to say something, that could potentially be something that's wrong with you and you're never getting it checked. So I was just like, let me just put it all out there and we'll figure it out together.
We'll see what sticks.
Yeah, we'll see what sticks.
We're glad to hear that you are taking care of yourself.
We should all take care of ourselves.
Let Brenda be your inspiration this week.
On Tuesday, I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down. Because the insurance is just so confusing. New insurance, it's so hard for me. So it took me half a year and I finally did it.
It's a little achievement.
It's the little things in life. But let's get into these headlines now. Yes,
headlines. Well, some happy couple news, which I think we've kind of been predicting about it. So Dylan Sprouse is officially off the market. He has been for several months, actually. Sprouse and longtime model girlfriend Barbara Pelvin are engaged as spouses to be. Get it? Spouses. Their pair announced their pending nuptials with Flair in a V magazine spread that included a playful conversation led by best man and twin of the groom, Cole Sprouse of Riverdale. love to see it.
They've been together for a long time.
Yeah, I think she's so absolutely gorgeous. Who would have thought that this would be my favorite Sprouse twin? I always thought it was
I was in love with Cole when I was younger. I was not a fan of Dylan, but had a really healthy relationship. We actually did talk about them rumored to be engaged, which they never addressed, but I guess they're addressing it as like a magazine spread.
Yeah, which we haven't seen that a lot. Cool. Remember when it was like the it thing to announce your engagement
or pregnancy
or pregnant, or like people would bid on your baby's picture for the first time. Like
we are way past that.
Yeah, it's like you just give it up for free on Instagram now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think it says a lot about them, how they announced it, because they're very artsy fartsy. She's a model. He's like a photographer.
It was an interesting,
it's very high fashion, artsy. I love it.
They also did, because I was looking at her story, they did something with Tiffany's too. They're doing this whole launch of their engagement, which I'm like, eat up that money.
And it's going to be on Vogue, obviously, right? Like,
I'm sure their wedding, like actual wedding, will probably be on Vogue. That'd be,
love to see it. Well, speaking of happy couples, Al Pacino is officially a father to a newborn at the age of 83. TMZ reports that the Scarface star's 29-year-old girlfriend, Noor Alfala, gave birth, and we reported I think last week that she was pregnant, but now she has given birth. And a little controversial there. 83-year-old father, are you thankful he gave life, or being like, you're really never going to be in this child's life? She really
got like security. Like you got to squeeze out that security before you lose the paycheck.
I read. I don't know if it's true that he like told her, okay, I need a paternity test, right? Because he's like, I didn't think I still.
I could still get women pregnant. You can get women pregnant at any age.
I mean, if you could do the act, I'm pretty sure you could.
Just get a vasectomy.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why people don't. Or sorry, I'm not a man, but like we have to have kids, so why can't you just do one thing?
Yeah.
We have to give birth.
The least you could do is be responsible.
Get a vasectomy. I mean, it's not like you feel it.
Yeah. It's reversible.
You are literally on medication or on anesthesia. Whereas birth, people choose to do that naturally.
Unless the girl wanted to. She's 29. Maybe she wanted to have a baby.
Oh, yeah.
But then why would you, why wasn't that a conversation? Like, it's just then why are you...
Like, I'm pregnant. Surprise.
Okay, no more comments because I will be.
I'm not gonna look
our
good.
favorite British guy is clearing up some info. Okay, so Tom Holland made big news last week when he said that he would be taking a year off from acting after his recent project took a toll on him mentally. Well, during a recent appearance on Live with Kelly and Mark, Tom clarified that he actually has been on his hiatus for a while now, and that the year-long break from acting would be over soon. So that would kind of technically mean that...
I think he's 8 months in, so he needs
8 months in, so
4 more months left.
4 more months. So that just means that we're not really going to see... Even though he'll be working, he won't have projects out soon because it's like he wasn't shooting.
And it's going to be even later because of the writer's strike.
Yeah. So,
we probably won't see him in like theaters or TV screens for the next 2 or 3 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because he'll get back to work this year, which is 2023, but writer's strike.
Yeah.
So maybe not until 2024. So by the time he shoots, edits,
Spider-Man one,
we won't see him in 2020 until 2025, if any.
A lot of things.
Even though he already took the break, we'll feel the end of it until a couple of years.
But Zendaya doesn't stop, so
he also talked about Zendaya in that recent interview, and I love like how he's like, we don't owe anyone, which I always said it was like, you don't owe us anything unless you're an influencer.
Also, he did one of those like rapid questions, and he said that Zendaya was his childhood crush.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Aren't they so cute?
I just want to know, you don't owe it to me, Tom, but I just want to know, like, at what point were you guys like, should we date? Like, was it the beginning of Spider-Man? Was it until the second movie? Like,
I think that they were obviously in the beginning flirty, and then they like started dating. And I think with the whole Jacob Elordi, I think that they broke up. I think that was kind of like,
okay, was she with Jacob after the first movie?
Was after the Spider-Man. Some of the Spider-Man.
So I think he probably had a crush on the first one, and then they just like whatever.
I think that Elordi was like a way to like get over Tom, because it was just so random, and it was so like for like a second that I think that she got. Yeah, I think that she was like, oh, Tom is the one, maybe. I'm just like making these predictions, but how long do you think it'll take for them to get engaged?
I think it'll be a while, maybe until they're like 30.
How old are they now? I forget that they're younger.
They might be like 27.
Like a year or two younger than me. So like 27. Oh yeah, she is 27.
Yeah?
Yeah, she is. I read that in an article earlier.
Let's see.
I think he might be 29.
Him?
Age.
Is he older?
Or no, they're the same
age. I think in a couple, like 3 years.
Cute. Yeah.
They seem like that. Okay, so next story, which I'm very confused by it. So Hailey Bieber took to her Instagram stories to share yet another message asking her followers to refrain from posting main comment on social media. Though she did not specify the motive for her statement, many have interpreted it to be related to her drama with Selena, which the two have been denying for months. I just think it was her way to get on like tabloids.
So I was listening.
Commenting.
I was listening to another podcast, Chicks in the Office, and they were kind of talking about this. I don't think anybody knows as to what she was alluding to, but they were saying it might have to do with that video that Selena posted of her in the soccer practice with the guys. I think she was getting mean comments from people being like, oh, you're just trying to get attention. I don't know if somebody brought up Justin.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's when Hailey was like, don't be mean.
I just don't get it. Like, Hailey, like, and I'm not trying to be mean to Hailey because I really do think that, like, people took it overboard with how mean they were. But, like, she doesn't have a backing to be,
Are people, like, defending you so hard?
like, she doesn't have a huge backing that would impact someone to the point where she's like, fans, like, it's not Beehive level, it's not Swiftie level. So
she was just kind of getting her name out there again.
I think so.
Well, I feel like she's been posting more, or has been more out there since the drama has subsided, because she was kind of on hiatus for a little bit.
That just probably means she's coming out with a product. That's usually what it means with these kind of people. Like, we don't see them until they need us.
Just like Kylie. Kylie going through her whole Timothy phase, changing her whole look.
Timmy era.
Modest Kylie.
Yeah, modest Kylie. But yeah, it's another just Vanderpump. New season kind of stuff. A lot of the executives kind of saying that they are in talks because a lot of people's contracts ended or were set to end by this filming. I didn't really see anything. They didn't really give a lot away of like who would be returning. They just kind of said that, like, I think the reality stars know their value at the moment. Yeah. And how
Ariana's taking everything. Like, so might as well take everything while
I don't know. I think you have to have Raquel and Sandoval. I just don't know how and you have to have Ariana. I just don't know how that would work because she's like, I'm never going to see him, never like want to be in your presence.
Well, Tom and Ariana still live together, so they could totally just do a thing of like how they interact in a household, how they live their own lives. Obviously, it has to follow the backlash. Like, it has to.
Yeah, it has to. Because like,
I think they would all be. I think they would all do it.
I think so too, because even the housewives, like, no one puts an ultimatum like, I can't be here. It's like we all shoot together. But there's also rumors of Jax and Britney coming back.
I would love that. Well, more Britney, because I don't really like Jax.
Yeah, he was on another podcast, Toast, where he was interviewed, and he kind of said something along the lines of like, you know, we were married, we had kids. I think we're now in a comfortable place where we would come back to reality TV. So I think
honestly, the Vanderpump Rules people were in there. Like Stassi Schroeder, she had her Call Her Daddy episode where she also kind of talked about Scandival and was like, look, when it was so funny. She was like, we all have those moments where like, where were you on that day? And for her, she was like, I started getting all these messages and like, I don't feel comfortable talking about it because I no longer am a part of that narrative. Like, I've left so long ago. Like, I can't talk on something I don't know. But yeah, it was like one of the worst kind of betrayals caught on camera, because it was her best friend and it was such a long period. And actually, Vanderpump has their episode that they release after the reunions. It's like the secrets revealed or the bonus episode. And it is so hard to watch, honestly, because of everything that we know now. There's one behind the scenes clip where it's immediately, like 5 hours after they had slept together, Tom and Raquel. And Raquel comes over to Tom and Ariana's house. She has a bouquet of flowers. She is grinning like ear to ear, and when they see each other, they look so happy, and they just did the deed like hours ago.
It's crazy.
And it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. We'll see if they come back. I'm sure they're going to come back to it.
Yeah, we'll see who's come back. Well, other couple news, Naomi Watts and Billy Crudups, I think that's how you courthouse wedding is perfectly suited for the relaxed romance, a source exclusively reveals to the latest issue of Us Weekly. Crudup and Watts initially crossed paths in 2009 as part of the 24 Hours Play Broadway benefit. They reconnected in the fall of 2016 while filming Netflix's Gypsy, which premiered in June of 2017. And soon after, the pair sparked romance speculations. Us confirmed in August of 2017 that the actors were the early stages of dating.
I had no idea they were together. When I saw that they got married, I'm like, random couple.
When I saw it, I'm like, huh? Because I think I had seen them as a couple in the show or something like that. So I was just like, is this a picture from that from the show?
They're like shooting.
But it's cute.
It is cute.
I think she's so pretty, and she is someone that is aging very gracefully. Yeah. Like you could see the wrinkles, but it's not like
this. Totally feels like very much like, who is that couple? Justin Long and
Kate Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth
and
like
Lily Allen and the guy.
Yeah, like it feels like they're in your mind they're in two different universes, and then when you get together you're like, whoa, this is like a match made in heaven, but I never would have pictured it.
Yeah. So, I like it. It's cute. He's a fox too, so awesome.
No, he has like aged really well.
Yeah, really well. Well, former music video director and current congressional candidate Robbie Starbuck claimed via Twitter that he witnessed Megan Fox's kids have a full-on breakdown when Fox instructed them to wear girls' clothes. Well, in response, Fox shared a post on Instagram on Saturday calling out Starbuck for being a clout chaser and slamming him for exploiting my children's gender identity to gain attention for your political campaign. Well, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I believe one of her children dresses in feminine clothing. He's Noah. I believe she kept saying Noah is 6 or 4, and she says that ever since Noah expressed that kind of interest, she has tried to make clothing very gender for all her kids. So I think they feel in a safe place among their siblings, but she, this guy, I think he's a politician or maybe hopeful congressional candidate, whatever, he tweeted that out saying that he's lives in their same neighborhood, so he's aware of this, and she just went on him
I'm like, there's one thing you shouldn't do. Don't talk on people's children. Yeah. Seriously.
That's the number one rule. We all learned that from the Housewives.
It's just dumb, and I appreciate that celebrities are taking more of a stance, even with photographers, don't shoot my kids. If you shoot them, put whatever on top of their faces. Don't talk about people's kids. Do you want them to talk about your kids?
Yeah,
you would be all up in arms. So just don't even start up the conversation. But yeah, he's just a clout chaser.
It is. It's just who asked? So random.
I mean, getting the name Megan Fox, that's gonna build traction.
Yes, absolutely.
And
but
his
it's
name's
also,
gonna be out there.
Of course, she has denied that she forces her children to dress in dresses. That's what he said, dresses. And Brian Kelly, what's her ex's name?
Oh, Brian Austin Green.
Him, Brian Kelly. I don't know. He came up saying absolutely not. If there's one thing we agree, it's our children are in a safe environment. But yeah, so that kind of made headlines, and we I hadn't heard from her. We had, but we hadn't. All we ever hear about Megan Fox is her relation to with Machine Gun Kelly. So something new that she made in the headlines this week. Another actress making headlines. Keke Palmer took to social media recently to call out a Houston airport for allegedly threatening to throw out her breast milk. Palmer tweeted on June 12th that an airport in Houston allegedly threatened to throw out over 16 ounces of my baby's food. She called the move breast milk discrimination. I did read an article that kind of went into these allegations. Some reporters reached out to her camp and TSA, and they said she didn't respond. So the TSA was like, well, she doesn't name the airport, what time, if it was TSA or if it was like
just like airport staff,
so we can't really like comment on it, but yeah, it kind of brings to light, like, was it because of the liquid?
Struggle about like literally breastfeeding. It's just it's so strange to me that how it's such a weird thing for people. I mean, how do you expect you got fed when you were a baby? Like, yeah, it's something that has to be done. And I mean, with the whole liquid things, taking it on board, there has to be a thing for breast milk.
It's like for health.
Food.
Yeah, drink it if you don't believe it's milk. Like,
I don't know. It's shame on you.
But I also love her, like, as a mom.
Oh, I love Keke Palmer, period, in any form of a person.
Any form.
She's awesome.
Our next story. A source tells Page Six that Taylor Swift has pulled her membership from NYC swanky members-only club Casa Cipriani. Is it Cipriani?
I think it might be.
Cipriani, after some guests posted photos of her on a date with Maddie Healy last month. The club has a no picture policy and bounced the offending members for snapping the photos of Swift. When reached for comment, the club denied that Swift bailed on being a member. I don't think she was a member.
Yeah, maybe she just showed up and was like, let's go to the place that isn't supposed to allow.
And it's interesting because, like, Soho House or Soho Club, right? Is that what it's called?
I think it's Soho House.
Yeah. That one, it's pretty good. Like, I've never seen, people don't, like, the New York one, it always has celebrities, and I never see, like, oh, Gigi Hadid spotted. Or,
I think
Harry Styles.
Yeah, it's true.
Always goes to the New York one. That's what I've heard, but I've never seen a picture.
Because the way the picture came out was, it was a dad who took a picture and sent it to his daughter, like, oh, it's Taylor Swift, and then obviously that disseminated. But I mean, are you not allowed to take your phone or what?
You
or
just can't take pictures.
They just like expect discretion from their members, and I mean,
it sucks for the dad who probably lost their membership.
Yeah, well, why are you being an idiot?
You should have known better. You should have known you had a Swiftie.
Should have gone home.
Well, this is a story we've been following for a long time. It feels like a long time, but I don't think it's been that long. It's just a couple weeks. Young Lily has been cast. Well, the younger actress and Blake Lively. Sorry, I didn't write this right. It Ends With Us is a book that's being created into a movie. We finally know who young Lily is going to be played by. Well, the younger actress and Blake Lively, who plays the character's older version, were spotted on set sporting matching wavy red hair as they chatted between takes. Although the actress's identity has not been confirmed yet by production, people have named her. Her name is Isabel Ferrer, whatever.
Everyone's like, this was supposed to be Lily in like current day. Like, obviously, like, she's probably a 20-year-old that looks younger, but that's who Lily was supposed to be.
Yeah. Even the article I read is so funny to me because they're like, they kind of give a synopsis of the character, and they're like, the 25-year-old who moves to blankety blank blank. I'm like, yeah, it's not that. But
it's like a 35-year-old who moves.
Yes. 40. She's in her 40s.
A 40-year-old who moves to. And makes decisions like a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Still keeping my fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, big pop culture news, guys. Pat Sajak, who has hosted the syndicated game show Wheel of Fortune for more than 40 years, announced in a tweet Monday night that he plans to step down next year.
Wow, I wonder who they're gonna get to. Is Vanna White gonna stay?
She's still there.
Okay, cool.
I think they might move her up. He's been putting in his daughter and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So maybe Vanna White becomes the host, and then his daughter becomes the Vanna White.
That'd be cool.
Nepo.
Oh, true.
But I don't think people are as strict as they are for like the Jeopardy host. Remember, like,
oh yeah, that was like a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was taking that like
you have to
we're
be
gonna
smart.
pick the next president.
Yeah, I think it was like more efforts were put into. Yeah, but
my nephew likes Wheel of Fortune because he likes the letters.
Yeah. Buying vowels.
He just loves
I thought you were going to
letters.
say he loves buying vowels.
No, he just loves letters.
Okay, but yeah, that's our quick headlines.
I got a couple more.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Brenda, please, breaking news.
Sorry. Yes, Jennie from Blackpink. So Blackpink is... their major tour, I think, is going on, had just started after Coachella. And man, these girls are struggling. Like, if you see videos of them, you're like, get them off the stage. They're going to pass out. Like, oh my God. So Jennie, in one video, you see her like leaving the stage. Yeah, she's not doing so good. And then speaking of Jennie, The Idol, which she's a part of, they are not going to be renewing for a second season. I don't know why this is a surprise. I don't even think people... I honestly forgot to watch the second episode.
I don't... So do you think it's the concept or the writing or the acting?
It's both. The acting, Lily Rose Depp, from the first episode, she did a good job. I know that The Weeknd has quotes saying, like, I want you to hate my character. Like, I want you to think that he's a scumbag. And it's like, yeah, we really do. And and I just found out that they filmed at his house. They're filming the show at his home. It's just strange to me. Like,
so the concept of an emerging pop star, or like she's already at the peak?
It's
like,
a pop.
When you compare?
It's a pop star. It's kind of like Britney. It's like a pop star who had a specific image prior, and she's trying to change that.
Okay.
And she meets The Weeknd, who like is this terrible guy, and she like starts kind of changing for him and stuff like that. That's what it's supposed to be.
I think I know what, like...
It's an idea that had potential.
That's
I just think Sam Levinson had to put his male take on it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well,
but there is apparently, I was listening to a Dumois, their podcast. I think there's shopping around a Britney Spears movie. And I heard that Margot Robbie's trying to get it.
I heard that.
That would be a great casting for that. It'd be interesting.
Barbie.
And also, lastly, Paul McCartney, he's trying to get into AI to do another Beatles song.
I think he did. He said that they used it a little bit for their last album.
Crazy.
That's interesting.
AI.
So that's kind of like, I don't know. It's iffy because, he would use it for like Beatles stuff, right? Like, is that disrespectful to the artist that like no longer?
Like,
and
imagine
also
doing like a Selena.
Yeah.
Or like a... which is being probably done.
Yeah.
If you like type in Selena singing this song.
Yeah, but like, is that disrespectful? And then would you still buy it because it's technically not really the artist, but you get the feel of the artist? I mean, so much AI.
Strange, but that's how we segue into our music little section.
Yes, we don't have to worry about AI with these people because we really hope they're the ones singing.
Let's hope.
We have new music. So let's start off with, the princess, or the current princess of pop, I like to call it. So Olivia Rodrigo is coming back with a bite. At long last, the 20-year-old pop star has finally unveiled details about her first project since 2021, multi-platinum debut, Sour. A single titled Vampire is arriving later this month, which is June 30th. And
did you write that beginning part?
No, I did not.
Okay, I was like, that was really clever.
I didn't. So I think it was like Us Weekly or something like that. But
I'm excited. Well, we had already kind of, with her little countdown thing, learned that something was going to happen on June 30th.
And we know it's her single, which I told you that people...
Fun fact.
Yeah, people made the connection that June 30th is like the anniversary of Twilight. And
which she's super obsessed with.
Yes. And then she made that TikTok, which is
kind of verifies it maybe.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see where she's going. Like, it's, it's always that pressure of your sophomore album of like, are you just someone that got lucky with your first one? Or are you really a bona fide,
songwriter.
pop
Like, are you really the future Taylor Swift?
She is working with the same guy she worked with, Sour. So I'm
great,
excited.
They partnered so well together.
I keep listening to Sour, and it's just like
I saw you earlier.
It was so good. Like it
is bop after bop after
and
bop.
it's just the way it's laid out is just so good. But so we're excited for I'm very excited for that.
So I feel like she's kind of dipping into the Taylor world where she's putting little Easter eggs of what this and this mean. So obviously just like the poster of her new song, she had like the bandages on her neck. I guess the song was called Vampire. I guess I just didn't make the connection of Twilight till then. But she posted another picture, I think yesterday, where it's a selfie of her looking to the mirror and it has like the lip mark on it. People are speculating that might be kind of like her saying that she's going to collaborate with Lana Del Rey, because the caption was, I think it was Bang Bang Kiss Kiss, which people say is a lyric from one of Lana's songs. Mm-hmm. So they say that's her way of teasing a collab for her album. She has been very vocal about her love for Lana Del Rey. She even presented an award to Lana Del Rey where she talked about how much she was a hero to her when she was younger. So I could totally see that happening, her and Lana working together.
So another thing about Olivia is that, hold on, let me see if it's what my so she has like her Instagram, but she also, there's another like Olivia HQ kind of thing, like how Harry does it, like
like a page,
like Taylor Nation, but it's Olivia kind of like that.
What's HQ stand for?
Like headquarters, I think. Okay. So a lot of the stuff that is posted on there is definitely like marketing, Easter egg kind of like. Where maybe in her personal one, it's a little bit more like, I'm just posting because I want to. Yeah. Not as a marketing campaign scheme.
I had no idea she had that.
Yeah, I need to look it up, but it's the one who posted the countdown first.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but we're excited about Olivia. Okay, this other person teasing new music. So pretty soon, new music from Selena Gomez won't be so rare. I didn't write it. It's the same person who wrote this.
Man, I wish I was so good at writing.
So the 30-year-old star teased in a recent Instagram post that her highly anticipated follow-up to 2020's Rare, her last proper solo release, is finally underway, sharing snaps from her in the studio in Paris.
In Paris? Why is everyone in Paris? Can I just go? Can they invite me
to be like
Beyonce's in Paris, Selena's in Paris?
Oh, is that why she went to the Beyonce concert to be inspired?
And I don't know. She was kind of teasing doing a movie in Spanish, pure Spanish. So we'll see.
Okay, ahora sí.
Qué bueno.
Ahora sí. I don't know. We all know Selena's not. Like, she has bops, but she's...
sorry. I thought you were going into the music. Oh, yeah, I thought you were... Okay.
I think she's a better actress than a singer.
I think she's really good in Only Murders in the Building. Other things, obviously, like
Monte Carlo. What other stuff has she done?
Wizards of Waverly Place. That was a good one.
I guess she hasn't really done a lot. If you think about it.
Well, she would do kind of movies. She did that movie with Paul Rudd. She did like
Which
another.
One?
I don't remember. I don't know if it was a comedy.
She was sick, right?
I have no idea.
Like in a car? Like a road trip one?
I think she was like a babysitter. I have no idea. It's like super B-list movies that don't even make it to theaters.
Yeah, they're very kid boppy, and I think it's only 4. Like, I don't think she's really done acting until, like, I feel this Murders in the Building thing, like, really gave her, like, a platform. Like, acting next to, like, Stephen Martin and, like, who?
Yeah.
How?
Martin Short's. Yeah.
How?
It's a good.
And she got picked by them.
Oh, did she?
Like,
I didn't know that.
To her. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Pretty sure.
What did you all watch that was like, let me pick Selena Gomez, Wizards of Waverly Place?
I do hope season 3 is good, though.
But I still need to finish season 2.
Oh, Oh, okay.
I still need,
You should get on that. I think
I should.
It's better to binge it.
I was showing Carlos the show, and I was like, let's watch it from the beginning, and then he got disinterested, and I'm like, why did I even ask?
Yeah. So someone else, okay, so Shawn Mendes released his new single, What the Hell Are We Dying For, within 24 hours of making it, as the song came on the heels of the smoke in New York skyline due to the Canadian wildfires.
What the hell are we
Mendes revealed upon the song's release that he's donating to the Canadian Red Cross to provide relief to those impacted. However, he got about a lot of backlash due to it because the cover art to the single was that very orangey, smoky skyline view of New York. And people were just like, why are you using like this?
Too soon.
Like, why? Yeah. And the funny part, not the funny part, I'm sorry. It was only that peak, like the peakness of the smoke was, I think, like on a Tuesday. So it's like he wrote it on a Monday. He picked the picture on a Tuesday. So I don't think the smoke inspired you.
Yeah.
And people were just like, why are you using someone's like misfortune as marketing techniques? Now, he did say that he is donating to the Red Cross, the Canadian Red Cross, because that's where the wildfires are happening. I just don't know if that came after or before the actual
after 1,000%.
think
Like,
so?
as soon as there was backlash, he was like, let's immediately be like, oh, just by the way, we're going to donate to them.
I tried to listen to this song.
Oh, it's already out.
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know
it like out. I put it on, and it like.
Did you feel like you were suffocating?
At first, I was just like, let me listen to this. And then I heard like 2 lines. I'm like, this is definitely about Camila.
Oh.
It's very heartachy, like what's like my purpose of life. And then I spaced out and I don't remember how the rest of the song went.
Just like a lot of people.
It's very, I just remember being like, it's very John Mayer-ish, which I like John Mayer, but like it's very...
like every other song of his.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about a lot of his music.
I kind of like.
Kind of like.
I think it takes me a while to like. I'd have to listen to.
There's only probably like a handful of songs that I genuinely am like, good song.
Well, Stitches is a bop. No. And what's the Japan one? Tokyo or Japan?
Yeah, I like that song too. I know what songs you're talking about.
That one, I think
that's a good one. I really like that music video for that song.
Yeah,
because they recreate like that movie.
They're kind of like, he has like good hits, like good singles.
Yeah, singles. But that's why I'm like, I wouldn't sit down and listen to a Shawn Mendes album.
I don't have.
I really wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's the only like guy that I'm like, oh wow, I would date him even though he's super younger than me. He's very good looking, but I don't think mentally we're compatible though.
Yeah, I'm not super attracted to Shawn Mendes. Not that much.
I think once he starts talking, it kind of goes away.
I don't know. There's something about him that not creeps me out, but like
icks.
It's just, he gives me a little bit of the ick sometimes.
Interesting.
He's really tall, but
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Really
I think that's what it is. But yeah, that's what we have for new music.
New music. And speaking of music, Pop Princess, the OG. I wouldn't say the OG Pop Princess, but maybe
icon.
The 90s.
Maybe like I would say
iconic
like,
Pop Princess.
Yeah, she's an icon. So Britney Spears and ex-husband Kevin Federline have shared strong reactions to a British tabloid report over the weekend, claiming that the star is using illegal drugs. The singer's former husband, with whom she shares sons, Sean Preston and Jaden James, lashed out at Daily Mail and The Sun, saying it saddened his family that the publication decided to fabricate lies in the papers. The Mail piece alleged that Federline and Spears' family is afraid that she is using the highly addictive drug crystal meth.
What a serious accusation. When I saw like Britney meth, I was like, what? Like, that is insane.
And the saddest part, because we kind of like were following it live a little bit, was that these allegations came out, and the tabloids were saying that like
her kids were saying stuff.
Her family and Kevin were saying that, and she went on social media saying like, that's so crazy. And it saddens me that if it's truly like my family are saying that about, it's even like sadder for me, which I'm like, shit. Like,
also, they were saying that her kid allegedly said she's not smoking, or I'm loosely saying this, that she's smoking that stuff from Breaking Bad. Like, they were mostly mad that they involved the kids into the narrative by saying that they're saying these things.
But they're 17 and 16. I think they know what meth is.
Oh, yeah.
So
1,000%.
I don't think he'd be like, it's that white
What's
stuff
that?
from that one show, Dad. You know? So, but then Kevin Federline came up saying, like, did we do an interview with them? Yes. Did we ever say that?
Yeah.
No. Like, they fabricated and twisted our words.
If it's literally 1,000% not true, sue for defamation right now. Like, are you kidding me?
They need to.
And apparently her parents also talked to them. Like, wasn't your mom just talking to you? Like,
yeah.
What the?
And if it's not true that they're not, like, saying that stuff about her, like, how, like, hurtful and how, like, she's barely getting in contact with them, like, with her mom, and she hears, like, her mom's talking about her. That's could be so detrimental to that building of that new, you know.
And they were basically alluding to the fact that the drug abuse is getting so bad that we don't know when she's going to die from it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's such a scary thing to think about. I do not want to think about the death of Britney Spears. My young self would literally die.
Yeah. Did you go to her concert?
I did. I don't remember where it was. I think it was San Antonio. And I think it was at the time where she was touring with NSYNC.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can't imagine a world without Britney Spears in it. And those videos I see every day of her dancing in her living room, which really creep me out. But I have hope. Yeah. She'll have a Lindsay comeback, you know. She'll have one of those flips. Mm-hmm. I think she just needs to be around the good people.
Yeah.
I don't think her husband is good for her.
Yeah.
Personally speaking. I'm not going to talk on people's relationships, but I don't know. Like, she doesn't seem like she's getting better, in my opinion. Like, just from the videos that she posts, it doesn't feel like she is in a good place, but I don't know.
I know. Hopefully, you know, again, Britney always keeps us updated, though.
Oh yeah, she will not leave us out of the loop. She will literally have us in that loop with her.
Absolutely. So let's go to our big recaps of our episodes. This week we had the Kardashians episode 4. We've been following along. Brenda watched it for us. So
you literally don't have to.
After like 2 we have to watch it. That was going to be my next question.
I was I was telling Yost, I was like, oh, this is the episode about Milan. Like, we're finally going to see the show that we have literally 4 episodes been leading up to. And, oh, nope, it's going to be next week, apparently. Allegedly, it's next week. But in this episode, you do learn a little bit more. You hear from Courtney explaining exactly why she's upset. Mm-hmm. So her thing is like, oh, you were making these negotiations at my wedding. Like, I specifically curated these looks for my wedding, and now you're going to be putting them on a runway, and you never really asked me what I thought. You just told me it was going to be a Skims collab, and then later you were like, oh yeah, we're going to do this show. Do you want to come to Milan and be a part of it? Kim was basically explaining that her show doesn't have anything from Courtney's, and she made sure of it. She's like, why is Courtney upset at me? Like, I don't know. It was really just that.
I do want to point out that if you watch the marriage special, the wedding special, she said her wedding was so stress-free because all she did was give them the vibes that she wanted, and they did all the work because he already had the vision and she couldn't, like... Yeah. She basically was saying that, like...
She said in this one, I specifically curated from the 90s and early 2000s these specific looks for the wedding, and now Kim's just having it on the runway. But Kim says, I don't have anything from her wedding, just out of respect. I don't know if that's 1,000% true, because I think I did see a couple looks.
I think it's just like you have a white blouse, but I used the black one. You know,
yeah,
I think
exactly.
It's the vibe is the vibe. But I also think that...
I think she's just jealous that she wasn't asked.
Mm-hmm. Because it would, yeah.
And this one...
You would think it would be her because she's coming off of the wedding.
Yeah, and she curated the looks, so they would be like, Courtney, you just had your wedding. Good PR. Let's continue this in Milan. But, so, in this episode, it's a continuation of that storyline about how Kim's stylist was left in America or whatever. So it takes her a while to come, and Kim's like, oh my God, I have to do this by myself. And she ends up kind of doing it by herself. Mm-hmm. And it's basically just like everything that was meant for that look is all in one person, if that makes sense. Like if there was a corset that was black and it had a matching jacket, but you know how people mix it up? Mm-hmm. No, it's literally all on the model. So I'm like, how is it creative if it's literally all one look in one person? Yeah. How it was meant to be. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, her like creative directing.
I don't think so either.
It's just a basic look that just is worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And you get to say that it was from the Kim collab or whatever.
Yeah, which I'm like, it's dumb. And, but they do kind of talk about that moment where Kourtney spotted with that guy from 365 Days. You know how? So they kind of talk about it. So they're talking about the guest list, and they're like, the guy from that TV show or the movie is actually going to be, we're sitting them next to Khloe specifically on purpose because we want her to like talk to him and flirt with him. So in the next episode, he's actually going to come out in it.
Okay.
And they're going to have that moment.
He's so hot.
So like, yeah, Khloe in her voiceover interview thing, she's like, oh my God, he's like super hot. Like it's so strange to be next to a super hot guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because you haven't dated one.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what happened. It was really nothing.
Okay. I'll probably watch it this weekend, stay away from the heat, but just because, I need my Kardashian.
You gotta keep up.
I gotta keep up.
And then Kendall and Kylie are forcing. They're like, this is the first time we hung out in forever, like just on our personal time. I'm like, y'all don't hang out ever, and this isn't even your personal time. You're literally filming for this, so
you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, so y'all are like hanging out for not on your personal time, on your filming time, so that doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
No, that's so dumb. But so now big not recap, I guess tease for the next season of The Bachelorette starting June 26th. We met the Bachelorette Charity from last season with Zach, and she's absolutely adorable, and we're so excited to see her find love.
Oh yeah.
They have released the bios of some of the men and made like a little teaser video of like.
Yes, I'm not gonna play the video, but I'm gonna show you all on the webpage some of the cast members for this season.
Yeah, the cast one, right? Okay, so Brenda and I went through it. We
watched it for you guys.
Yeah, we kind of like vetted them. And
Charity, we got you, girl.
We got you, girl. So again, there is just a quick bio in each of the guys, and I'll be honest with you,
a lot of them are from California.
Yeah, I did notice that too. So Brenda and I, just by looking at them and seeing their bio, we kind of like just judged the book by its cover and made our picks of who we would personally pick. I would just whatever. Who Charity will pick, season's villain, and people's favorite.
Yes.
Okay, so again, this is just by how they look. I did see kind of the teaser video because they kind of like move a little bit and do a little more of a body.
Yeah.
Reading, I was able to do a body reading where it's a lot of them, like that guy Warwick. I thought he was cute in the video, but not in his profile picture. He's like one of the last ones because it's in alphabetical order. Warwick.
Yeah.
So, we had to weigh in both.
First tell us your list.
Okay. Who I would pick just by staring at them.
Just by looking at their pictures.
I think my pick would be Peter.
Peter. Give me a second. Let me let the viewers see who Peter is. Okay. Peter is right there in the middle, folks.
Mm-hmm. Spencer.
Okay. Spencer is right there next to that Peter
and
picture.
John Henry.
And John Henry is up here. No, he's right there. John Henry. I had John Henry in my top 3 too.
Yes. So that's who I would pick just by looking at them.
And who is your fan favorite?
My favorite is Spencer, actually.
Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who I think Charity will pick, Aaron B, which is the first one on the list.
Who she'll pick. Okay.
Yeah, like who will she'll vibe with
most.
Brayden and John.
Brayden and John. Okay.
And then my villain's Joe.
Okay, so my villain is Joey.
Okay.
So I was like, I called her like on the work phone. I was like, did you mean Joey or Joe? And she's like, no, Joe. And I'm like, I mean, like, my villain's Joey. And so they have like a little teaser video now with like kind of clips of the season. And I know he makes it to a country. He goes out of the country. But it kind of seems like he creates drama.
And now that you said that
it's the guy with the kind of curly hair.
He speaks in the tease. He says something like,
oh yeah, like I'm not here for the men, and she's like, you better not be, or something like that.
Which it makes, like, I should have taken that into consideration, thinking that like if they gave you a speaking role, it's probably because you're outgoing and like just in the camera's face, and that bugs people, which creates conflict, especially in
and the way he said it, like I feel like every person who says I'm not here for you, I'm here for her, it's never gonna end well with those people. So I had a feeling, okay, here are mine. Okay. So I definitely think Aaron B is going to be one of the finalists for sure. I also have James. I think James is really cute. James, the attorney. He had actually a speaking role too. I thought he seemed like somebody Cherry would like. He seemed like a really down-to-earth person just from his like one speaking role. I do really like John Henry. I think he's like really cute. I kind of even just put a list of guys that I thought were like cute for her. Like Caleb A, I think he was kind of cute for her too, as well as Taylor. But my troublemaker was Joey, and my fan favorite, I think it's gonna be Caleb B, the guy with the long hair and the mustache. I feel like he has like a personality.
Country charming.
Yeah.
Like charming.
Like he's gonna make her laugh, but she's not gonna be super into it. But yeah, those are the men. I feel like there's not that many men.
No.
I don't know if we're going off of like just like Rachel and Gabby season where it was like 30 men and like it's so much more smaller because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, at first I didn't realize there was, how I opened it, there was 2 pages. And I'm like, what? There's only
Actually,
13.
no, it's 25. But
okay. So then we know who makes the top 25 before we okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be like the most dramatic season ever. I think there'll be drama, but
straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Okay. And again, that starts June 26th is the premiere night.
Yeah, and we'll kick off our typical weekly recap of the episodes.
Absolutely.
And yeah, let me just exit out of this window so I can like.
But that kind of wraps up our show for this week. Again, just a reminder, we're still reading romantic comedy, so
yes, keep
that. Follow us on Instagram, Pop Off the Clock, for all the latest on everything.
All right, I just wanted to get that music going. All right, guys. Yes, everything just being said, and of course, you know where you can follow us on Instagram, and we're on YouTube once again. Bye.